Well, happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to Eionans Edge Live. That's right, we're back again. Assemble, minions, assemble. Also, a quick note, daylight savings time has changed. 4 o'clock Pacific time on live streams from now until the fall. So let me start up here with some greetings to folks. And before I do that, start greeting people in the chat, I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody out there in YouTube and the knife community that listens to this and doesn't actually chat, or if you watch it on replay, doesn't matter. I appreciate everyone who tunes in every week, whether it's live or after the fact. Don't forget to hit that like button for me if you enjoy the broadcast. I'm glad to see all you folks stopping in every week. You know I appreciate it. So let's start with some greetings here. Nate says, Bama beat me to it. I'll be working, but I'll see you in all a bit. Okay, very good, sir. Dang Ross says, good evening. See y'all in a bit. Okay, Bama Ninja is in here throwing up some bananas. Bananas. Yes, daylight savings time. Streams will start at 4 p.m. until everyone but us here in Arizona. We don't change. Falls back into line. Joe Kasprick is here, says going out to dinner. Hope everything is awesome. We'll try to check back. Good. Hope we can see you, brother. Bama says, I'm getting ready. Hashtag 420. 420, brother. I love it. I might be 420 in a little bit later after dinner. Mike Jernak says, hello, driving but listening. Again, appreciate all you guys who listen. Beard of Doom. The Beard of Doom. Woo! He said, let's go. Let's go, people. We're going to get this thing started. Don't worry. Mike Jernak throwing out some greetings. Doom throwing out some greetings. Alan Graywolf is in the house. Thank you for stopping in tonight, Alan. We appreciate that. Marcos Gamma. Brother Marcos is here. He says, hashtag be up. Hello to brother Jason Brown. Welcome here forever. We'll always remember Jason. He is an irreplaceable person in the community for sure. Beard of Doom says, let's see. Lung capacity is still down, but overall, I'm feeling better. Waiting on the doctor to script me the stuff to hopefully get my test levels back up to normal and waiting on MRI results as well. I will also be having some blood work done and an MRI. And got to check on a few things that are going on with my health as well. Nothing too serious, I don't think, but we'll find out. I will have some updates for you, shout outs, things like that coming up here in just a few minutes. Before I forget, I always like to do this a couple times during the broadcast. Here on the screen is the word of the month for March. That is family. Also, if you're listening, the word of the month, I will say this again, is family. I usually put it up a couple times during the broadcast. For those of you who don't know what the word of the month is, the word of the month, you collect the word of the month throughout 2023 for a chance to win exclusive prizes at my holiday celebration. There will also be special bonus word of the months throughout the year as well. They'll give you extra chances to enter that grand prize drawing. For those of you who collected them last year, they were words of the week. You know what that's all about. But for my newer members and listeners, if you track the word of the month, you will need all 12 words, all the way from January to December, the beginning of December, to be entered in that contest. Okay, enough about that. Let's see what else is going on here with comments. David Iverson is in the house, throwing out some love to me and the missus. I love it. Freedom Frog is here as well, throwing out some greetings. Michael Morgan, one of my other moderators, is here as well. Byron Kennedy, longtime minion and follower of the channel, throwing out all kinds of greetings to people here tonight. I love it. Let's see who else we've got in here. Michael Morgan, Lone Wolf, Josh, my boy Josh. What's up, my son? Good to see you, man. Haven't forgot about you. Josh used to be one of my employees up at the golf course. Well, actually, Josh and I were coworkers at the time. Now he would be one of my employees if he worked for me. Who knows? One day he may come back. He flew off and he may find his way back to us. You never know. Mike Reese is in here listening. That's cool. Josh is throwing out some greetings. I dig it. So while I have a bunch of you guys in here and we're still populating the channel, Like I said, I'd like to just remind everybody I'm grateful for all the viewers and the people here in the live chats. And I would like you guys to start throwing up your pocket checks. Tell me what you guys have in your pocket today. I will also let you know what I have in my pocket. Although, if you watched me over on Instagram this afternoon, you know what I had today for a pocket check. But let's start throwing those up. And here's a question for you guys to go along with pocket checks. If you carry a wallet, a purse, or a billfold, is it leather? Is it nylon? Is it something else? Is it multiple things? Do you sometimes carry a leather wallet, other times carry a nylon wallet, other times maybe carry a RFID blocking metal type of wallet? What would that be? So throw up your pocket check. Let me know what kind of wallet you prefer. Let's see who else we got in here right now. Like I said, we got Freedom Frog in here. We got Rich Kasner's in here. Good to see you, Rich. I noticed you threw some stuff up this week on Instagram. We're going to take a look at that in a little while, so don't go anywhere. Native Wild Man is in the house. He says, hello, Eionans Edge and Mrs. Edge. Prayers and love for you both. Thank you very much, sir. Very, very much appreciated. My boy, Neil McKenzie, has the QSP Penguin on him today. Very nice, Neil. You know that is one of mine and many other viewers here in the channel's favorite, or one of our favorite budget knives of all time. Very, very popular here in the knife community. Neil says nylon tactical wallet is his go-to. All right, very good. Beard of Doom says, I spent the day at the beach with his kid today. Spring break surf camp. Cool, that sounds fun. All I have is my Lancelot leather wallet, Remet hand-fell knife. I can lose that in the ocean and not be sad. Or Remet, I think it is. Yes, you could. Michael Morgan is carrying the Mallory Forest and the Pena Bronco, both in S35 VN steel. That's awesome. Daily is a walleye fish leather wallet. Cool. I like that. Freedom Frog gear, the Wee Thug XL, the Wee Miscreant, the Microtech Ultra Tech Warhound, and the Best Tech Predator. I just carry a normal leather wallet. Okay, very, very good. Byron Kennedy, CJRB Ruffian. Awesome, awesome knife. I love that knife. And a Petrified Fish 818. Kudos to G-Ball. And an Eionans channel coin. Very cool, very cool. Keep that coin in a coin slip if you plan on holding on to it long term. They are made out of bronze. Lone Wolf has an alpaca pouch used as a wallet also. That's pretty interesting. A pry bar, an 80-20.5 Demco, an EP1 pen, an LG, a large, Sabenza 31, very nice, ZT 0640, and a Kaiser pinch. Man, you've got a lot of stuff in there today, Lone Wolf. I dig it, man. I dig it. Michael Morgan, my moderator extraordinaire, has thrown up some links to people's channels. You might want to check those out if you're lurking or you're new here. Any of these links that you see Michael throw up are all good channels. They're all people who I support in the community and who support me. David Iverson. He's got the Hinderer XM18 3.5 Bowie, the Microtech UTX70 Hellhound, the Baby B, a Boker USB out the front, metal and paracord wallets. Okay. Sorry. And a Forest number 9, rule number 9 handkerchief. Rule number 9, always carry a knife. We might get back to that later. You never know. Let's see. Ned Wildman, hemp wallet, a Cold Steel Counterpoint 1, a Petrified Fish, a Case Mini Stockman, and Uncle Jed Saxon. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, there Michael's throwing up Wildman's link to Wildman's channel there. I like that. David Iverson. Yep. Don't forget to put your pocket checks up for me, folks, so I can see what you guys are carrying. And so the other people here in the stream can see what you're carrying as well. We really appreciate that. You guys have a lot of cool knives, so it's always nice to see them. One of my other moderators, my honorary moderator extraordinaire, Bama Ninja, he has a Vosteed Raccoon, an 80-20.5 shark foot blade, an Elementum 2 button lock. And he says, my wallet is some BS my wife got off Amazon. For me personally, I carry a nylon wallet on a day-to-day basis at work. I just find it holds up a little better for me because I'm pretty hard. I'm constantly in and out of golf carts. I'm in and out of gators. I'm constantly sliding in between things and moving in between stuff. So at work, I carry a nylon trifold wallet. I believe it is a Carhartt. But when I'm off duty, I carry one of Iggy's Campfire Leatherworks dual folds that is more of a minimalist type of wallet. I have my license, I have my debit card, my one credit card my wife and I jointly share, and then I usually have a pouch in there where I slip some cash and stuff like that in. And I like that a lot better when I'm not at work and I don't need to have all that stuff in my pocket. But I'm just curious what people carry for wallets. Mike Reese says Vero Axion and a Synapse XL. Very nice. A minimalist wallet. Not sure if it's real leather or not. That's okay. Freedom Frog is throwing out some greetings. Lone Wolf is throwing out some greetings. Nebucloud, what's going on, brother? He says, hey, Eionans Edge. Happy Tuesday, my friend. I love he's got the little skull icons in there. And also hashtag do something kind for someone. And that is definitely the knife community's motto. Let's see what else we got. Rich Kasner. It's good to have you in here, Rich, man. I know I haven't seen you off and on over the last handful of weeks that we've been on the air, but it's always nice to see you in here. I love that you're posting a lot of stuff over on Instagram for us, too. Rich is carrying a Civivi Terex, a full-size Kaiser Sheepdog, Streamlight Wedge, a Bearded Doom Hank from Forrest, a 1886 Morgan Silver Dollar. I like that a lot. A Fisher Space Pen and a Dickinson Trading Post 3x5 pouch for the wallet. Very, very nice carry, sir. Byron Kennedy says, I don't carry a wallet anymore. I prefer the combination phone case and card holder, so I lose it all if it's left somewhere. Mrs. Edge has been using one of those lately. She's been putting all of her credit cards and stuff in like this thing on the back of the phone case that like is made out of like neoprene, like lightweight neoprene. I don't like it. It makes me very nervous, especially since she's not the most attentive person with all of her stuff sometimes, but it makes her happy. And that's all I really care about. Bearded Tomb's got a Monster Energy post up there. Let's see who else is in here throwing stuff up. David Iverson says, I also carry a Rule Number 9 Tree of Life coin, Mrs. Edge coin, U.S. Navy coin. There you go. I knew you had a couple of those in there. Freedom Frog says you guys all carry awesome stuff. My carry today was a Hogue Ballista drop point, which is an auto button lock. I love that knife. I waited so long for it to be back in stock. It was not a disappointment. I also carried a Spartan Talos, which is basically like the Spartan Saint. It's a Harsey design, but it's smaller, right? The Talos is more of not a fifth pocket, but it's certainly a smaller size knife to carry. Swiss Army knife, SD Classic, a Baton 3 from Olight, an Olight O Pry, and of course, a custom-made Mrs. Edge Hank. That was in my pocket today. Let's see what else we got going on here. Alan Graywolf says he's carrying a Finch Drifter in my Tucson TS20 plain leather wallet. Bananas! Bananas! Oh, man, I feel silly. Not really, because I am carrying Grandpa's Barlow today. Hey, man. Anon Mouse, that's okay. First of all, thank you for coming in the stream. We really appreciate having you here. It's always great to see people in the stream. The more people in here, the better. But, you know, the Barlow was the first knife I ever received. My father gave me a single-bladed Barlow from Sears, a Craftsman Barlow. That was the first knife I ever had. So a lot of people still have and still carry Barlow-type knives. There's still a popular slip joint design on the market, and there's nothing wrong with carrying one of those. Not at all. Nebucloud says, today I've got my Spyderco PM2 and my Shaman Amethyst Palm Skull by Leandro. Of course, you're carrying something by Leandro, right? Just seems fitting. Pretty fly for a knife guy. What is going on, my friend? Good to see you here. He says, hello, everyone. Rebuilding my kitchen sink, but I'm listening. Carrying the Rook P128 SB. Very, very cool knife. Right? Rake, Ruiki. It's supposed to be Rake, I think. Let's see what else we got going on here. A lot of greetings going on. A lot of greetings. Lone Wolf says, My alpaca pouch holds most of my carry. They're really sweet. Holds credit cards, ID, health cards, and I forgot the Nipex pliers are in today's carry too. Some people do carry Nipex pliers. I do not carry pliers, although I could see how they might come in useful for me in certain situations at work. Oh my goodness, guess who else just popped in? Dawn Ray B. Welcome, Dawn. It's lovely to have you in here, sister. Thank you for coming in on a Tuesday night. Always a pleasure to have you as part of the stream. I have a lot of stuff for you tonight, so I will go through a few more pocket checks. Michael Morgan also threw up NebbyCloud's Instagram account. Go check that out if you would. He has a ton of really cool stuff. If you're looking for unique items, NebbyCloud is your man. Dawn throwing out some greetings as well. Native says my wallet is green. Dime Life is the brand. Okay, green is like one of your favorite colors because you have a lot of stuff that's green, brother. I noticed that. It has to be. Remember the thumbs up. That's correct. Dawn says don't forget to hit the like button for me. All right, you're here. You might as well hit the button. Okay, don't forget. All right, let's see what else we got here. And then I'm going to jump into some other content, do a couple shout outs. Please stab that like button. Yes, 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 yes. Stab the like button. Lots of greetings, lots of greetings. Dopey's in here too. Dopey6621. What's going on? Thank you, sir, for stopping in. Stephen Wallace is in the house as well. Stream's starting to populate a little bit more. I like it. Very, very cool. I really appreciate all you guys being here. Let's see. Dawn says, I don't carry a purse, only a wallet, a little more girly than a man's. Pocket check, Sativian ST139. Dawn, if you haven't been over to my channel today, you might want to go over and take a look at my shorts after you get done with this live stream. Hint, hint. Let's see. Dopey's in here. Lots and lots of greetings going on. Dawn Ray says, hi, love to Mrs. Edge. All right, so let me do shout outs because I'd like to reply to that comment on the screen. All right, so shout outs. Here's shout outs for this week. All right. First of all, I'd like to shout out anybody in the knife community who's not feeling well or a little down. We're always here for you. You're always welcome to come into the streams. There's always a place for everyone here. But I'd like to do some shout outs. I'd like to shout out Q Ball, who's still recovering from his surgery. Darnell B, who has been having some health issues lately. I cannot wait to have that brother back. That would be awesome. Budget Blade Reviews. Much love to you, my friend. I hope things start getting better for you. Beard of Doom. Thank you, Beard of Doom, for asking me to participate in your 1K giveaway. Beard of Doom has a 1K giveaway coming up. That is coming up this Saturday. I thought I was going to miss it. I was at a mandatory work function, a big awards dinner this past Saturday, and missed that. But I will say this: the response to the video I did for Beard of Doom, which is the Finch Halo, you can go over to my channel. If you have not signed up for Beard of Doom's 1K giveaway, all you have to do is go over there, watch that video, hit like, leave a comment, and add Doom, DOOM, 1K in the comment somewhere, and you will be entered in one of his 1K giveaway drawings, which will be happening on his live stream this coming Saturday, and I will be off for that. Woohoo! Bananas! All right. Anyway, so shout out to Beard of Doom. Thank you, brother. Much love to you. I really appreciate the opportunity to put a video together for your 1K giveaway. I'd also like to shout out Uncle Cal because he watches every week, right? Every single week. He comments every week. He watches every week. He always has stuff to say after the live stream. I really appreciate it, brother. Much love to you as well. I hope maybe if you haven't already, hopefully in the future, you'll get a chance to get and open up the stuff that Mrs. Edge and I sent you. All right. But we're thinking about you always, Uncle Kyle. So hang in there. All right. And then finally, Mrs. Edge. So here's the update on Mrs. Edge real quick, because there's people throwing out love for her. She's doing very well. She is well into radiation treatments right now. They're finally starting to kind of affect her a little bit mentally and physically, but she's doing pretty well. She's got a ways to go. She's about a quarter of the way through, roughly, not quite a quarter of the way through radiation treatments. And she's got a few little side effects that she's dealing with. But the good news is she's feeling well enough and doing well enough that she's actually back to work part-time at the gallery she's in here in Arizona. So normally she used to work there a few mandatory days a month, and then she'd also be a fill-in there where she'd be able to get paid for extra days that she worked covering for people at the art studio, artist gallery. Not only does she sell all the crazy stuff that she's so talented and makes, but she also was working there a few days a month. And now she's back to being able to do that. She's going to work 2 days here in the month of March. This was her very first one. So she was both excited and a little anxious to go back to work and see how everything is going. But that's great news that she's actually beginning to get some of her life back. Obviously, you spend 9 months in the house not going anywhere, and you definitely are thankful for being able to get out and do stuff. All right, so that's shout outs for today. And again, anyone that I missed, anyone that's here just lurking, we appreciate all of you guys. We really, really do. Nebby Cloud says, I love traditional pocket knives, and a single blade Barlow is my favorite. It is one of my favorites as well, obviously because I carried one as a young man. Bearded Doom says, I carry a Slippy most days. Okay. Let's see. Bama says, I always keep my Eionans coin in my wallet, so it gets carried every day. There you go. Awesome. Craftsman make knives. Craftsman made knives for years. Yeah, they had their own brand for a long time. David Iverson says, Mouse, my grandpa gave me a Barlow when I was 7. I love that knife. Yeah, I got my first one when I was right around 10 years old. A lot of you folks have heard that knife story before. Maybe I will retell that story again when we get to the holidays or something. Forgot not mod here. Can't post links. Oh, yes, that's correct. I have 4 moderators on this channel, and I think 3 of them are here today. I pronounce it the way it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be rake. It looks like ruiki if you were pronouncing it in, say, Japanese or something like that. But anyway, however you pronounce it, they do make some pretty good knives. They're actually made by SRM, Senrei. So SRM is the same company that's making the rake knives. Neil says, I have one carried by one of my grandfathers when he was a boy. Yes, we're talking about the single blade Barlows. Very good, very good. Other people throwing out some greetings. Dopey says, I just picked up my Artisan Arroyo today. It goes perfect with the rest of my carry. Beyond Night Horse, Kaiser Escort, and a CJRB Ruffian. I told some of you guys last week, the knife I'm really high on by CJRB right now is the Lagos. Fantastic knife. Fantastic. Okay? If you are looking for a good size knife, it's not a small knife, but it's not a large knife. It's definitely in that medium to medium large category. Fits in your hand really well, has good steel, flawless button lock, really cool looking. Go look up the CJRB Lagos. Very cool knife. I will be reviewing that pretty soon. All right, let's see what else we got going on here before I move on to some content. Ant is here in the house as well. What's up, Ant? Ant's been on. What's going on, Rich and the Knife Kids? We're doing well. Ant has been on my channel before and done 5 and 5. By the way, if any of you folks would like to do a 5 and 5, which is where I give you time to bring on at least 5 knives and show them off in a show and tell format, all you got to do is just let me know. Just hit me up. I would love to have somebody who is willing to come on and do a 5 and 5. I've had Bearded Doom on. I've had Ant on. The Bama Ninja has been on. All right. I had Jamie Blades in EDC. He came on before he even had a live stream because he wasn't comfortable being on air. So he came on my channel and did a 5 and 5. And that kind of broke the ice for him. And he moved into doing his own live streams now. And obviously his channel is bigger than mine. So good for him. All right. Let's see what else we got going on real quick here. This is the only knife I've ever received from my grandfather's an old Warren Barlow. There you go. Yeah, a lot of us have had those. I mean, it was my most prized knife for a long time till it got lost in shipping back from overseas when I was in the Marine Corps. Dirk Pinkerton is a great designer. Dope. Yes, we're going to talk a lot about some designers and stuff later. Ant says, I have my Stout Pina collab Mula on me today. Two very cool knives. Very, very cool. All right, so let's see. I chat with Iggy very often. She's okay with struggling with some personal situation. Yes. Yes, I will throw a shout out there to Iggy too. She has been on and off the forums and the community lately. She hasn't been around as much as normal. She is dealing with some personal issues. Nothing too serious, but everybody struggles with things in their own way. But let's just throw a few thoughts and good positive things out there for our good friend Iggy, because I think she really would appreciate that. Garen Gaylope is in here throwing out some greetings as well. Excellent news, Benez in chat for Mrs. Edge. Yes, she's doing pretty well, man. She's feeling well enough to go back to work a couple days a month. So that is a giant step forward for her. Yep. Tell Mrs. Edge I know a little of what she's going through. Well, I appreciate that, brother. Garen, it's always appreciated. I know a lot of people here are not only supportive of myself and her, but they also understand. Some of you guys understand and have been through it either as the actual recipients or as the spouses or support. So yes, woohoo, Mrs. Edge, I'm so happy for you. Yep. So today was her first day back to work. She was very excited and very anxious at the same time. So moving into some content, guys. Grumpy's in the house. Grumpy Monkey, what's going on, brother? One of my fellow Marines and crayon eaters. Aberdeen Blades is in the house. Tree Stab and Troy is in the house. So you guys came in at just the right time. Illuminati Ninja's in the house. Man, we're starting to fill up Mid-Missouri EDC. Yes. I love it. People are starting to drive. Come in here. This is awesome. I dig it. Eionan, looking good, Eionan. We get to see more fixies today. Probably not fixies, but I do have a knife roll to go through. I have 2 fixed blade reviews I have to get to, and I hope that will happen this week. But every time I say that, I keep getting thrown more golf tournaments to work at work. So let's see. Update here. So Grumpy says, I spoke with both Darnell over the weekend. He is slowly doing a bit better with his therapy and looking forward to getting back into some lives when he can. He said to send the community's love. Well, much love to you, brother Darnell, and our thoughts and prayers are with you as well. Thanks. I would have missed that short. I missed a lot of shorts. Garen says, I got the pinion in my pocket along with the mohawk. Very nice, sir. Much love to that. Hey, Blazeburger's in here too. Blazeburger came in just in time for this segment of the show. The sentient, you want to stick around till the end of the live stream too, if you can. All right. Hint, hint. Okay. So a couple things. So, I always have a few fun segments on the show, and I decided to do one of the more fun segments here at the beginning. Can anybody guess what that fun segment is going to be? Anybody got any guesses? 7 years ago, I had surgery for cancer. Yeah. So yeah, you know what that's all. Belt loops in here as well. Can anybody guess what the next segment is? Come on, somebody. I know somebody can guess this. You got to be able to guess this, guys. Anybody know? Anybody want to guess? Shout out to Sister Iggy. Oh, I'll be chilling. Okay. Well, the next segment that we're going to go into is something that I've gotten in the habit of doing every week. And this is, you guessed it. You might not have put it on the board. It's this week's Drunken Knife Review segment. So let me share the screen, and I've got 2 of those ready for you. 2 people who you guys know and love in the community. These are always done in fun. So again, I just want to let everybody know this is pretty much how it works. I'm going to share the screen here, and you guys are going to see me up here on the screen. And this first video is a video by our one, our only, our beloved Gonzo. So here he reviews an Asher Spiro.
I guess this is a Spiro frame lock. Think so, anyways. Hope so, because I already posted stuff on this saying it was. But it's S35VN. Stainless steel frame lock. G10.
He almost sounds normal.
Smooth little knife.
Oh, it sounds pretty good when it opens. What's up, Will B?
Not my kind of knife.
Not my kind of knife.
A little too thin for me.
Correct, belt loop.
And y'all know if I don't like a knife, it just gets moved on to the next one. So this one's getting moved on. It's gonna be a surprise.
True,
I'm
Grumpy.
gonna let that channel reveal, but I'm donating this for a giveaway. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out, I guess.
All right, Freedom, be good, man.
But I mean, I dig the knife. It's just
Oh, that's perfect.
super thin, bro.
That is freaking
Like,
perfect. I dig the knife. News layout. Let's try that.
Look at that.
Nope, we'll go like this.
I mean, a TRM, if you like TRMs, you'd love this thing. 100%.
Oh, all right.
Hell,
So that was a little bit of Gonzo reviewing an Asher Spiro a while back. And you can see that when I put some of the Southern guys on there, when I put Shane on there or Gonzo on there or whatever, it's always pretty funny watching them. And a lot of times their reviews don't really sound all that drunk or all that under the influence, shall we say, because they got such a slow delivery anyway that it sounds just more slower, right? But it's pretty funny too because there's always times when people will do stuff like they'll do something in normal speed and they'll be like, "Wow," but in there they'll be like, "Wow." So let's see. Bearded Doom says he sounds like my neighbor sounds daily. Yeah, right. So anyway, let's see. Kevin Kirk's in here too. What's up, my man? I threw you up there a few moments ago. So the second one I want to get to here is I want to get to this next one because this one I really dig. And this one will make some of you laugh even more, way more so than the first one. So this is Urban Woodsman. Ready for this one, guys? This one is going to be pretty good. This isn't even a knife review, by the way.
It's going to be my rendition of it, so be prepared for a lot of enthusiasm. Okay? So this book apparently story was dedicated to Dee Dee with love. Dee Dee, you are sure are loved. You must be someone special. Alright, so let's get into it. A long time ago, there was an old man. His name was Peter, and he lived in an old house. Real old house. In this old house, before I get going, I might add a few extra words to the story to just, enhancements. Yeah. FYI. So in Peter's old house, the bed creaked, his floor squeaked, and outside the wind blew leaves through the trees, and the leaves would fall on that roof, and they'd go swish, swish. And the tea kettle he had would whistle, hiss, hiss. Too noisy, said Peter. He didn't like the noises that his house made. I love the illustrations in this thing, by the way. The illustrator did a...
All right. You guys get the picture. Anyway, much love to both Gonzo and Urban. Both of those guys are good friends of mine, good buddies of mine. And they both have a good sense of humor. So I chose to put their two videos up today. The rest of the Urban one is priceless. Seriously. I mean, when he starts doing the teapot and all the other stuff, but it has some other funny parts in it. But anyway, yeah. Bama says, I'm dying. Yeah. Swish, swish, right? The pictures. Yeah. It's very pictury. So you get the point. Anyway, a good time, man. He's, both of those guys are good friends of mine. You want to go check out their channel, Gonzo Reviews and Urban Woodsman 87. They're both good guys. Urban is actually super entertaining as well. So, go check them out when you get a chance. But I'm going to move on with a few other things here in the live stream. So I mentioned that the word of the month is up for the entire month of March, which is halfway over. That word of the month is family. If you didn't get the word of the month on an earlier broadcast, it is family. I will repeat it probably on a weekly basis. All right. So write down those words of the month. You're going to need at least the 12 months of the year, January through December, to be entered in the drawing at the end of the year. Woman Outdoors is up there somewhere. There she is. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You just missed Drunken Knife Reviews and Drunken Story Time with Urban Woodsman. So I did want to go over a couple of things here. I told everybody that I would cover some of my knife collection, and I have another knife roll here today that I'm going to put out. By the way, anybody looking for inexpensive knife rolls, and if you have a Walmart near you, as most of North America, the United States does, right? These knife rolls are found in the tool department. They're actually tool rolls. They are $13. They hold over 20 knives, and I have several of these. Okay, so look for these in the Walmart tool section. $13. Awesome knife pouches, super durable, snap closed, have a handle on them so you can carry them around. $13 at Walmart. Okay. All right. So this knife roll has some interesting knives in it. This knife roll pretty much has all of my Tucson collection. So we're going to start with those. So I got a Tucson here. I'm terrible with the numbers because Tucson's terrible with naming knives. But we got this one here, which is carbon fiber and titanium on the back side. This is like a fancy steak knife, right? You could use this to like cut up your food with, right? Beautiful little Tucson. Actually carries really nice, good looking knife, right? There we go. Got a really nice carbon fiber on one side, black anodized titanium on the other. Typical Tucson, really smooth, really nice. Along with that, I have the swayback Warncliffey version of this. as well. Same basic knife design. These are all night mornings, by the way, night morning designs by Tucson. And this one here has a beautiful Warncliffe on it with the same kind of carbon fiber and the same back. This thing's super sharp, by the way. So same back on it, little bit different clip style. It's got the sway, kind of a sway back design to it, but a really nice, super comfortable knife as well. Boom. All right. What else have I got here? I've got a really old Tucson from back in the early days. I love this knife. It's kind of futuristic looking, right? Bearded Doom probably would like something like this, right? It's got kind of a futuristic look to both sides of it. Kind of neat looking, right? This is like a TS-82 or something like that. It's one of the earlier knives, but it's a great knife, and it's got really nice action on it as well. The next knife is a knife I have on loan, but I might actually buy. This is on loan from Cue Ball. So thank you, brother Cue Ball. Big shout out to you. Like earlier in the show, I hope you're healing up well from your surgery. But I saw this knife. It's a Tucson Integral. And I want you to think Star Trek: The Next Generation. Okay? I want you to think the Enterprise from that show. Okay? Tell me that this Tucson Integral doesn't look like something that they would issue out to someone in Star Trek. M390, titanium, pretty cool looking knife, right? Does have a functional pocket clip on it. The only thing I have an issue with is because it's a frame lock, and because it's fairly slender, I do tend to have to keep my fingers off of it so that I don't hit the frame lock with my hand. But this is a pretty cool knife. It is an integral, right? Now, the pocket clip isn't great. It's good for thin pants. But again, this is not meant to be an EDC knife. This is one of those knives that you could show off and talk about with people, right? Because it's right. It looks like a phaser. Yes, it does. It looks like a phaser, or it looks like the shape of like one of the more newer generation, Federation ships, right? Like really like, right? So I will be doing a review on this pretty soon too. This is also another night morning design. He's designed a lot of cool looking knives. I'd have to go look it up for you, BOD. I can send it to you later, but it's pretty cool. They still sell this knife. And like I said, M390 and an integral design. It's really cool. It has a cool flipper tab on it. And it's actually quite comfortable. There's a fairly good amount of room on the back of this sucker too here. I have large glove size hands, so you can see what this thing looks like. But it's just a really cool knife. I saw it. I'm like, oh, I got to check that out. So anyway, that's another Tucson. Yes, it is a sweet knife. It's very cool. It looks like a mini door handle from my 66 short wide. There you go, right? But it is. It's really cool. Oh, Cue Ball's here. I was just throwing you some love. I have my list on Excel. Yes, tell me what this one was, Cue Ball. I don't remember what this knife was. I don't remember the number. I did look it up after I got it home. I have it on loan. I might be purchasing it. I have a button lock Tucson that was customized. This was originally one of Cue Ball's knives as well. A lot of these Tucsons came from him. And then Satu Dave bought it, and Dave did a little bit of modifying to it. And then he sent it off and had somebody else do this goldish, kind of slightly goldish, but a little bit of a green accent, and the blue anodizing on the clip, the pocket clip, the thumb studs, and the pivots. So this is a customized knife. It's had some custom work done on it. It's a button lock. It's one of my few, I think it's my only Tucson about falls right close. And this is a big knife, guys. This is not a small knife at all. It's got some size to it back here, right? It's got a nice big blade, right? Tantoed blade. And I really dig this. This was a gift from Dave for Christmas. So also shout out to my boy, Satu Dave. Him and I have to get together. And then a knife that I really wanted badly. I couldn't convince Cue Ball to sell me his. Makes sense because it's really cool. This is the TS-138 Dracula. And this knife, some of you may have seen before. This is the M390 in full titanium version of the knife. A few people have reviewed these. Really, really cool looking knife. Got a humongous finger choil on it. I don't care how big your fingers are. Your fingers are going to fit inside this choil. This thing is, look, that's my large glove size fingers in there, and they fit easily inside this choil. This is a very, very, very cool knife. Cool Warncliffe design. It does have a very aggressive look to it. Big, big swage down here on the front of the blade, right? The TS-138 Dracula. Yeah, it is very cool. They still sell this knife. This guy, that comes in like 3 or 4 different versions. It comes in carbon fiber on one side, titanium on the other. It comes in a micarta handled version, and then it comes in this full tie one like this, which is the one I love. I've carried this knife a bunch. This thing carries really well. The pocket clip is very usable. It's got a good amount of tension on it. Some people, these things on the blade are removable if you want. It will leave a hole that's exactly the size as the 2 other holes on the knife. Some people prefer that, right? Because it is not a knife that you're going to flick out there. But this is really cool, the TS-138 Dracula. Yeah, it's a Storm Anno version. Yep. So Beard has this knife. Yep. Yep. You can't go wrong. Kin says you can't go wrong with Tucson. They do make a lot of really cool knives. Satisfactions in here as well. I always love seeing Maddie in here. Let's see what else have I got. I'm going to go through my Damn Designs collection. So Damn Designs, I'll start with an oldie but goodie. I have one of the older generation Wraiths in satin M390 and 2-tone carbon fiber. This came with extra scales. This is a very, very cool knife, milled titanium pocket clip, and has a really nice feel to it. You can see where the evolution of the Damn Designs knives came from by looking at one of these older generation knives here. Let's see, what else have I got in here? I've got, I think, what is this one called? The Brahma. I got this one from Gonzo. I keep forgetting what this knife is called, but I dig this knife. I carried this for a while. This is a pretty cool looking one. It's got a nice blade shape. I'm not generally a fan of this upswept style, which is why I'm not a big fan of a lot of Spydercos. I like the Native Series Spydercos a lot, but I don't like the ones with the big humps on the blade. But this one's good. It's pretty comfortable for my size hands. My thumb fits right in there. It's jimped all the way up. It's a really cool blade design. I really like this one a lot. This is still available through their sites. I want to say it's the Brahma, but the Banshee. There you go. Thank you, Matt, the Banshee. My brain's a little toasty lately. I've been working a ton. I've also got a Hades. Another cool knife style from them. The Hades is a pretty cool knife. I like this one. Here we go. You can see some of the texturing. All their G10 texturing is really, really nicely done. Hades, and then I have a couple more premium knives. I have 2 that are full tie in S35 VN. I have the Fenrir. This is a cool knife. Got a really, really aggressive blade. Got this stone bead blasted, acid washed, full titanium S35 blade, titanium handles, right? Super, super nice knife. And it's got an interesting blade profile, right? So I like this one a lot. My favorite Damn Designs knife that I have at the current moment is the last one. This is the Tie-in S35 Invictus. And I came to find out about this knife because Grumpy actually loaned me the more budget version. He had a D2 and G10 version of this. I like the size and shape of this knife so much that I decided to go out and buy one of my own. Nice jimping up here. Really nice fit and finish on this knife. This knife really talks to me. This is one of my favorite blade styles here. This kind of semi-deep belly drop point in a full-size knife that you can get your hands on. I really, really dig this knife a lot. This is the Invictus in S35 and tie. See if we can get that to focus a little bit. There we go. Really, really cool looking knife. Let's see. I've had a bad designs, bad customer. Yeah, I'm going to overlook the customer service experience. The knives are good. They're well made. I haven't had any issues with any of the ones I bought. But, you know, everyone's mileage may vary on those kind of things. Okay, let's see what else I got in here. I've got a QSP Thai Penguin. Right? I love the Penguin, so I had to go out and score myself a premium version of that knife. Let's see if we can get this thing to zoom in a little bit better on this knife. There we go. Now you can see that. Really, really nice looking knife. Really, really well done. A QSP. Let's see. I ordered the Nock DG12 last night. Cool. Dawn says, I really like that one. I'm really liking the drop points. Yep, they are pretty cool. The drop point's a classic knife blade, right? So, and then I also have, which I won through the Apex group, I have the production sample of the QSP, premium QSP Penguin Large. And this is another knife that's just amazing. I was super stoked to win this because a bunch of us in the Apex list reviewed these knives, and I was really, really impressed with the size of this one. If you like the Penguin, but you're looking for a more full-size knife, this is a premium version. Anodized titanium. I believe this one's M390. It actually says production sample right on the blade. And I ended up winning this knife after everybody got through reviewing it. I was really, really stoked because I love the Penguin, and having a full-size one is even cooler. So very, very cool knife. Really, really dig this. A couple more to go here, and then we're going to have a chat session. So we banter. I also have a baby banter, but it's not in this knife roll. It's in a pouch. S35 VN. This is a great little, still a 5th pocket size knife, in my opinion. You can get all 4 fingers on this. It is a very, very well-made knife. I plan on getting some unlocked composites, textured carbon fiber scales for this little bugger. I think that would make me like it even more, but it does have really nice texturing on the G10. It's a small knife, but has really good steel, made by the Banter. 2 more to go. One of them just so happens to be a Tucson. This little bugger here, this is super fun. This is an S90V knife. It's titanium on one side. It's all textured. And then it has the same texturing on the carbon fiber on the other side. S90V. This is a Tepe design knife. See if we can get that to come up there. There you go. There's a little Tepe logo on it. S90V. Have carried this knife a ton. Have used it a lot. This S90V holds an amazing edge. Haven't really run into any issues with edge retention or chippiness or anything like that. But this is a really, really cool knife by Tucson. It's just amazing. And the funny part is, even though it's tiny, it has a really functional pocket clip. This pocket clip is really excellent. It does a great job. It fits into a lot of different types of pants. You can see it's got some springiness to it. And then finally, the last knife for tonight that I'm going to show, next to the last knife I'm going to show you, is the CJRB Rhea. Again, another knife I bought during Cue Ball's big knife sale that he was having, where he was unloading a bunch of stuff. This is a premium version of their knife. So this one here has the AR RPM 9 steel, and it has beautiful double-sided shredded carbon fiber, milled clip, and it's actually textured. It's really, really, really difficult to see on video here. I don't know if I can get this thing to show it, but the carbon fiber on this is gorgeous. And it actually has all this machine etching all the way down it. Really, really fine, really nice feeling knife. So the premium CJRB Rhea, gentleman's pocket carry, fantastic knife. I was so stoked to score this knife. Totally stoked that he was willing to sell this, because this is one of my favorite gentleman's pocket carry knives, the CJRB in premium materials. Cue Ball is here tonight. Okay, and the last knife that's in this particular knife roll, I saved till last because it gets into it. It segues right into my next chat topic that I want to throw out there for you guys. This is the Kvist variant. This is an original variant in titanium. I carried this knife a lot last year. This knife made my top 10 favorite knives of 2022. I bought this knife from my good friend Gonzo, and I don't regret this at all. 14C28N satin steel, titanium scales, nested liners, good usable pocket clip, really solid ergos on this knife. The variant 3 in a frame lock version is coming out very soon. There was a pre-order on that. I got in on that as well. And I really, really dig this knife, right? It's not fancy, but it's way more functional than you would actually be led to believe. All right, so that, I believe, is knife roll number 4 out of 6. Plus, I have an entire drawer full of knives that are in cases, which I haven't shown to you guys as well. A lot of people were asking to see what was in my knife collection. So little by little, I've been showing it off. All right, let's see. I think sounds good. Yes. All right, so that is the knife roll situation. But that brings me into my chat topic for this week. I like to throw out chat topics whenever we have time, and I do today. The chat topic is this, okay? I thought it would be really neat to talk about some designers that I like and that we like. Case in point, Jacob Lundquist has come out with some really, really cool knives recently, right? He's come out with some really, really cool knives overall. Now, the variant has 3 variations on it. He's got a vanish, and now the new one is the invert. So what I wanted to do real quick was I wanted to, and I got off that page, sorry, but I wanted to go and share the screen because I wanted to show some of the knives that he has been putting out on his channel. So let me do that for you real quick here. Let me share the screen. There's Jacob's channel. All right, so here we are in StreamYard. Let me go ahead and go back up here a little ways. I forgot that I left some comments up on the screen. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right. So let's see if we can get in here and get some of this stuff up on the screen real quick. So here, Knife Joy has been doing the pre-order for the new invert. So this is the variant with basically the handle flipped over in basically it's, instead of being a Wharncliffe, it is a drop point. Very cool. What I love about his designs is I love the fact that they're all pretty basic, but yet functional and elegant. And one of the knives that I really love by him is, speaking of the Apex Group, Maddie, I know I'm not up on comments here. I've been talking. Let's see. Rhea is my favorite apple cutter. You guys are so funny. One of the things I love about his designs is the fact that he has this habit of coming out with knives that are simple but elegant. So right here in this photo that you're looking at, we have 2 of his knives. We have his variant here, and then on the right side we have a knife that's coming out sometime in the fall or later part of the year. We have the Veritas. Okay, and again, they're just beautifully designed knives. They're all very, very functional. And I think that speaks well to his design philosophy of not being overindulgent. Here is I don't know if that's going to show up. That's a video. It probably won't show up on the stream. But here's another picture of the Veritas right here. And this is what I'm talking about. They're just really, really good. Functional. Yes, it flips open with the hole only. It is a blade cutout type. Beard says, my favorite Lundquist is the Black Void Opus chisel version. So the thing with that is and here's what I like about this. Like when he went to the new variant and some of the other knives he's designing, he usually goes with two, generally speaking, after the first variant. He usually goes with one or two opening methods, and they're usually the ones that are the closest to each other. Meaning, like he had a front flipper and a finger. One of the new knives he is about to put out has the front flip on it as well as the finger. So he he's not trying to do too much with his knife designs. I really, really like his knives a lot. So Ferrum Forge knives are basic, but so gorgeous. Also, Ray Laconico designs. Ray is one of my favorites. The MBK knives. The stuff that he did for Kaiser. Ray Laconico is amazing. His designs are never too fancy, but they're always fully functional. And this is what I like about Jacobs. Now, one other thing about Jacobs knives, he took down a thing on Instagram. He had an integral that he did himself. I don't know how many of you guys saw it. I looked for it today. I couldn't find it. I left a comment on it. That design that he did is going to be the future of knife manufacturing for premium knives very, very soon. It's a full integral. The one that he did was 5th pocket size. It's amazing, amazing. Yeah, I get that Ray's not everybody's knife size. I get why you wouldn't like his, because they're not fancy and they're not really interesting. But if you like the less is more style knives and you like knives that have good function, I think Jacob Lundquist and Ray Laconico are two guys that design fantastic knives in that category. Now, again, that's one of the things that's lovely about the knife community is there's something out there for everyone. I don't care what style of knife you like. If you like knives that look more like Star Trek spaceships or District 9 or something like that, there's knives out there for you. If you like knives that are simple and elegant and functional, there's knives out there for you as well. So I just wanted to bring some attention to Jacob's designs. For those of you who aren't super familiar with his knives, he really does have some really, really cool designs. When you look at some of these, like the Vanish is super tiny. I mean, it's a little itty bitty knife. Here's a Segihai, very fancy version of the variant, right? And he's not a ton of knives into his knife making designing career, but he also builds knives, which I think is important when you build knives. So here's a great picture right here, kind of getting a look at the Vanish at the bottom, the PE2, the Veritas, and the Invert. So gives you an idea of what some of his knives look like. He is definitely one of my favorite knife designers and makers at this point. Now, granted, he's not making these production knives. They're being made from QSP, and I believe the Veritas is going to be made by Kaiser. But he is a knife maker, and he did design all these knives himself. So just throwing a little bit of love out there. So let's see what other guys you guys are mentioning. Cuball says the Slayback XL, such a great knife. MBK Monterey Bay knives designed by Ray Laconico. Let's see what else we got here. Michael Morgan is throwing up a link for something. Kit Carson is one of my favorite knife designers. Yeah, Kit Carson. Let's see who else. Gil Hibbins knives. Yep. Pinkerton, right? And so we're getting some other knives thrown out there. So the reason I did this for you guys in the chat is you can go look up some of these names. You can go look up Ray Laconico. He is the partner in Monterey Bay Knives. You can go look up Jacob Lundquist. You can go look up Brass Brigade. There's a bunch of different people out there that are making really cool knives. I don't want to forget to throw love to two guys who've actually slayed it throughout 2022 and now starting into 2023. And that would be Devo Knives. That would be Kevin and Colin. Everything they've put out, even though I can't afford all of their knives, has been amazing. They started out with a absolute Grand Slam home run in the Devo Stout. The mash has been fantastic. all of their knives have been awesome. I'm really, really excited, super excited about the Pony Stout. That will be a very affordable knife at under $100. So Doug Ritter, there you go, right? So we're just talking about some of the people that we love. Urban Woodsman, you're going to want to go back towards the first quarter of this live stream later and watch your drunken story reading that I did. Bluminati Ninja, what's up, brother? But yeah, so the thing is, I encourage people to look at different designers and different companies out there all the time. I like what Bridgeport Knives is doing a lot. I love TRMs because, they focus so much on quality and craftsmanship and materials. So Jacob is definitely one of those people I wanted to highlight. I mentioned a few other great knife designers on the whole. Let's see. Urban says, the whole family laughed at me when I put a dab of Baja sauce on my toast. I don't know about you, my friend. Just Nate, Elijah, yeah, rest in peace, Elijah. But Elijah had some very, very interesting knife designs, right? Sadly, he is no longer with us, and he wasn't very old when he left us. But Elijah had some very cool knife designs for sure. Yeah, you'll have to go. You're definitely gonna want to, Urban. You're gonna want to go check out the early part of the stream later when you have a chance. David Iverson says, I have a couple of Gil Hibben Bowie knives. All right, cool. And that's the thing, right? Don't get locked into just the regular stuff, the QSPs and I love EMP EDC's designs. I'm still hoping they re-release the Nimble X one more time, which is supposed to happen sometime in the spring or summer. Yes, Elshowitz. All right. Elshowitz is awesome. Beard just got a Turna. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. So sorry if I didn't pronounce it. But anyway, yes, Elshowitz. I got an Elshowitz knife right here, right? A lot of the Hogue knives are designed by Elshowitz. So we'll skip off of here for now. Right, here's one right here. The Ballista, right? The Ballista button lock. USA made knife. Amazing, amazing craftsmanship. This is one of his designs. The Ballista drop point, right? Crazy, crazy sharp. I mentioned this on last week's live. Hogue is probably doing the best job of factory sharpening of any of that kind of mid premium line knife, USA knife manufacturers. Every single Hogue knife I've ever gotten, including this one, is scary sharp with a near mirror edge on it right out of the freaking box. I'm looking at you, Benchmade, and your crappy belt sanding sharpening that you guys do. All right, so yes, he designed the Hogue deck as well. He designed a bunch of his knives, a couple of Elshowitzes. Yes, yep. All right, so guys, here's the deal. We're in over an hour, and we've talked about some knife designers, including highlighting Jacob's knives, which I'm a big fan of. But as always, my stomach is beginning to grumble. It's getting close to being dinner time. And what's the price point for the mid-high end? I'm talking in Benchmade territory most of the time. Knives that are, $150 to a couple $100. The Hogues definitely present more value and good workmanship in that same price point than I think Benchmade does. And I'm not bashing Benchmade totally. I mean, I have a lot of Benchmade knives. I probably own probably 8 or 9 or 10 of them. But I'm a much bigger fan of Hogue. Enough said about that. So stink out of Benchmade. Well, I just feel like lately they've lost their way. I feel like Benchmade has lost their way lately. A lot of their new offerings are not very enticing. They're not stuff that makes me want to go out and jump on one of their purchases, Let's see. Benchmade is sitting the bench for me. Yeah, and that happens, right? That's kind of the same with me. If they come up with something I really love, I would get it. One of the knives they don't even make anymore, the Anthem. Amazing. That's a cool knife. I would totally buy one of those. I would pay a premium price from Benchmade to buy the Anthem. They don't make it Yeah, they went off the cliff about 9 months ago. So it's true. It's very true. It's sad because they're an American knife manufacturer. I don't hate them, but I just feel like they haven't done anything that's amazing. They have some classic knives like the 940. One of the knives that's really good from them that I love, it's one of my favorite knives. I like it so much I'm not about the full size version, is the Presidio 2 carbon fiber elite. I like that in a medium size knife so much, and I carried that knife a lot over during last year and the early part of the year before, that I went and bought the full size version of the Presidio carbon fiber elite. So they do have some knives in their lineup that are amazing, but overall their pricing and their materials and their quality control is a little out of whack lately. Okay, so anyway, they don't make the volley anymore. Yes, that's true. So what time do you guys think it is? We're getting toward the end of the show. That's right, kids. Get your blankets. Get your water bottles. Get your sippy cups. Gather around in a circle. Gather around in a circle because it's story time. All right, so I don't know which story I want to tell tonight. I'm tempted to tell a shorter story, but I have a story about when I went to AMA school in New Mexico. And it's story time. That is right. Gather around, kids. Uncle Eionans about to start story time. There it is. There it is. There it is. Look at this. Everybody's getting excited. Throw some bananas up there on the screen too. Bananas. So, story time. Yes. Yes. Did you ride dirt or flat tracks? Well, I did not. I did not. I grew up riding dirt bikes, but I never raced them or anything like that. But I did go to AMA school. I might have showed some of you guys this in the last. This is this guy here on the motorcycle right here. That's me. That's my AMA license from that year. I actually won this race. Right. So I didn't do this for a long time. I don't want it to sound like I raced against all these like championship riders and everything. And you know what? Just to throw in this, I still have my HJC helmet that's in that picture all these years later. Love this helmet. This was awesome. So I even kept this because I love this. This was the Aaron Yates helmet from HJC. So I could tell the motorcycle story, but yes, you tuned in time for story time. Yeah. Well, you know, they moved me up a class that same weekend, and I started 12th and finished 8th in the regular amateur class, the full-fledged amateur class. So I didn't do too bad, you know. I held my own. And the interesting part about that story is, I'll tell the whole story about that another time, is that when I went to that school, I did not have insurance. I had to sign an extra liability waiver because they're like, wait a minute, you're going to go do the school and you're going to race this whole race weekend with no health insurance. Meaning I didn't have health insurance. When I say insurance, I didn't have health insurance. So here I was taking this big leap and I didn't have health insurance. But that's not the story. The story that I want to tell tonight is actually better. I'll get back to the motorcycle story some other night. So here we go. So the story I want to tell is a story about me and Mrs. Edge going hiking when we still lived in California. This goes back, I'm going to say probably somewhere around 8 or 10 years. So we used to go on a lot of hikes, and we used to, you know, we hikes and walks, and we'd go quite a ways. So one night we decided to go on a local hike after I had dinner. So we go out on this walk. It's a nice evening. We leave this walking path and we start going up this trail. And we're literally in the middle of nowhere in Northern California. We're just walking, right? We occasionally see people, going down this trail. And I don't know, we probably had walked 4 or 5 miles at this point, right? And all of a sudden, I start getting this terrible pain in my lower stomach. It just comes on out of nowhere. Comes on out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good, right? You know, when you get that, you've eaten it and you get that settling feeling down in your lower extremities, right? And you just know that something's about to happen that you don't want to happen, right? You're just like, oh God, this is not good, right? So that's where I was at. I'm like in distress. I literally stop on this trail and my wife is like, are you okay? I'm like, nope. She's like, what's the matter? I'm like, I'm clenching as hard as I can. I'm clenching. Maybe this will pass. Right? Yeah. Right. A bubble gut. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Spidey senses kick in. Yeah. You know, something bad's about to happen. You're like, uh-oh. I'm literally standing in the middle of this trail and I'm like, I'm literally clenching my butt up as hard as I can. Right? I'm like, for everything I'm worth. And I know I'm like, I can't move. If I move right now, it's over. Right? It's over. It's done. So I stand there for about a minute or two and it's painful, but finally the pain passes. So we turn around immediately and we start walking back. But remember, I'm like 4 or 5 miles away from my house, right? I got to walk. Yeah. Brand new American. I see your comment. So I'm literally like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk all the way back. So we walk about 100 yards down this path. And before I can react, before I can even say anything, I'm like, oh God, oh no, this is not going to be good. I literally clinch up. I scoot off of the path as far as I can, as quickly as I can. I find this little pine tree and I scoot off the path. There are a few other people out there hiking. And that's it. Right? And it's messy. It's messy. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't walk back to my house in this kind of condition. So I take off my pants, right? And I realize I got some on my underwear. So I take out my knife, right? I take out my knife, which is a time just so happened to be a Benchmade Mini Boost. That knife was later gifted to someone here. That knife was in really good shape, but the one time that knife did come in handy was I actually cut my underwear up into strips and used it as toilet paper. And then I threw it on top of all that stuff behind a pine tree. So this is one of those situations where having a knife made it at least bearable for me to walk home commando, right? Because I cut my underwear up into strips. I know somebody else mentioned socks. I've seen people cut their socks up too, but I got to walk home 4 miles. So my rationale was I won't really be comfortable. I'll probably end up with some blisters on my feet if I were to cut my socks up or use them. And since I've already kind of made a little bit of a mess of my underwear, I guess it'll be the knife, right? I'll cut them up. I'll cut the underwear up with a knife and I'll use them to wipe my butt and I'll make it home, which I did. Right? Had I not had a knife on me, I could have probably still ripped the underwear. But I mean, I cut the underwear up into strips so that I could use them like, cotton toilet paper. And then I threw them in the bushes. So that's why you should always have a knife on you. And the postscript to this story is that I found out a short time later that I suffer from irritable bowel syndrome. Right? So that's what happened. Bless my wife's heart. She stood watch for me there while I cleaned myself up and did my business. But apparently, irritable bowel syndrome, because I started having these bouts of, oh my God, I got to go right now. Like right now. Not 30 seconds from now, but right now. I need to find a bathroom and get in there right at this exact moment. Always have a knife. Rule number 9, always have a knife. And If you don't wear underwear, you might want to think about that because you never know when you might have to cut them up with a knife and use them to wipe your butt with. That's my story for tonight, guys. Native says, I had to do that. No, it wasn't a USB. It's true. It's a true. It really happened. Mrs. Edge can confirm that. Poop Smith from home would be proud. Yes, it's true though. It's true, right? So yeah, do you EDC TP now? No, I really don't. I haven't had irritable bowel syndrome. If I go hiking, I always have some in my little shoulder pack or whatever. But I don't EDC carry anymore. Everybody's slapping. It's true. IBS, can't plan for that. I've heard it can get really bad. For a couple of years, I had to deal with irritable bowel syndrome. Instantaneously, you got to go to the bathroom. Instantaneously. And in that situation, had I not had a knife, things would have been way worse. So rule number 9, always carry a knife. What a crappy story. That's right. It's a crappy story. All right, guys. That's all I got for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Eionans Edge Live on Tuesday. Thanks for sharing part of your Tuesday night with me. I love y'all. Thanks for being in here. I'll probably see a few of you over on Cole's stream in a little while after I get myself something to eat. But thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You guys are my minions. You're the best. I love this community. Have a great evening and stay sharp, everyone. I'll see you soon.